Hello there. My name is Dustin Williams, and welcome to a PowerPoint presentation on space technology. As you can clearly see the title, What's New on the Horizon? This is made by me and a partner of mine named Leandra Perez, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that name. But let's get right into it, shall we? We shall start on the history of space technology. As you can clearly see, humans have always looked up to the night sky, dreaming of space. They always dream, what's it like up there? What can we see? If we can ever get off Earth, can we go up there and explore it? Well, around the latter half of the 20th century, were rockets actually powerful enough to leave Earth's atmosphere to make that dream possible. Before that, before that, the Chinese have actually used these kinds of technology to make small rockets that worked a lot like fireworks. In the 30s and 40s, during World War II, the Nazis in Germany saw the potential to use long-distance rockets as weapons. With such weapons, London suffered a very devastating attack from them. Like, very devastating. And sometime after World War II was the Cold War. Everyone knows what the Cold War is. It's the war where everything is cold. No, I'm kidding. It's the war that started the nuclear arms race between the US and the Soviet Union. But at some point, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1 as the first man-made satellite, and thus began the famous space race. Before we talk about that, let's go into rockets. As I mentioned earlier, historians believe that the Chinese developed the first real rockets to use as fireworks. But around 400 BC, Archytas, apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but a Greek philosopher and magician had shown off a wooden pigeon that he suspended on wires. Although that's not really much of a rocket, is it? That sounds more like a marionette. But, like, look, I can make this pigeon fly, and it's made of wood. Not that impressive. Now, the technology has been around for a while, but like I said earlier, it wasn't until 70 years ago that we were able to even make rockets to leave the atmosphere. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. This stuff's been around so long, and yet they're only 7 decades ago that we even started making it. Weird to think about. Now let's talk about the space race. This year here, 1972, that's when most people say that it ended. It's unclear when exactly it ended. But in response to the Sputnik 1 satellite that we have a picture of right here, the United States developed the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA, on October 1st, 1958, so they can research aerospaces. The primary mission was to develop new technology to beat out the Soviets, putting a man in space. They didn't succeed, but they were the first person, they were able to get someone into space, onto the moon. A little less known fact is that the actual first intent was that the US wanted to actually nuke the moon. But they figured out that that would have contaminated future projects on the moon. So they didn't do that, thank goodness. Now, following World War II, several German scientists from that probably worked for the Nazis, or probably not, immigrated to either the Soviet Union or the US to assist the countries in this space race. And this period led to a lot of advances, such as, well, one, satellites, and the fact that we can now send human beings into space without too much problems. It was rough trying to do it all, but no system is without its problems. Now, the final part that I'm going to talk about is today's space technology. Today's space technology has pretty much changed leaps and bounds. You've become faster and easier to travel through space, and we have the International Space Station that we all look up to. And we have it's not in here in the slides, but we do have special satellites that can take high resolution pictures of different space clusters. You've probably seen pictures of clouds of dust in the stars. These were taken by those cameras. And let's not forget that scientists have recently been discovering, for one thing, water and microbial life outside of our universe. I mean, our planet. So that's something. And let's not forget, recently, scientists have taken a picture of a supermassive black hole. Something that was never taken before. It's not the best quality, as you can clearly see in the background, as it sucks in our text, but it's a step forward. And that's the end of my presentation. In order to see the rest of this, check out my partner, Leandra Perez, or whatever her YouTube name will be. Until the end, this has been Dustin Williams, and I'll see you guys next time. Good day.